Today we're going to install this skylights with blinds. You want to see the process? Let's go. I'm Jason Jimenez and you're watching Gasper Roofing. The guys been prepping. We've been removing the old roof. First thing we got to do, install the drip edge. This is what you're gonna see. This goes on the roof. So let me show you this detail. So we got to cut this corner, render like that. So the next piece is gonna come down here. So now we're gonna have nice and clean corner. First thing we're gonna do. So the purpose of installing the drip edge, you see how there is a gap right here? We want to protect that roof. So now it's nice and smooth transition. What that's going to do is going to prevent from any squirrels, insects, or anything from getting in there. That's the job with the drip edge. It's the first line of defense against Mother Nature and their animals. This black sheet that I just put down is called icy mortar shield. This is the second barrier protection. We install this along the gutter lane and up on the walls. What this is going to do, once you put a nail through, it's going to seal that nail. Also, snow builds up over here. It's going to create a water dam. Then snow is going to back up. It's going to hit this on top of the drip edge away from your house. So this is a moisture barrier that goes along the gutter lane and up on the walls. After we install the icy water shield, next step is the drip edge on the side. What this is going to do, any water that's going to come sideways is going to go on top of the icy water shield away from your house. Also, what this is going to do is going to hold in case of wind. We're going to nail everything down, secure everything down, so we're going to prevent from any wind damage later on. So this shingles, you have to install them on the step pattern. Something really important, you don't want no nails near this seam because water could travel sideways causing a leak. You see there's no nails here, there's no nails here. So you always want to keep that same thing down here. There's no nails right at that seam. Should be a minimum of 4 inches from the seam away. That's what you want, otherwise it's going to leak. How we keep the water away from going to your house when we come up to a wall? With this step flashing. This is just a nail piece of aluminum. A section goes on the roof, a section goes up on the wall. Each shingle is going to have their own step flashing, and the next one is going to overlap onto it all the way up to the bridge. So step flashing, the first one is really important because it has to come out on top of the siding, and I'm going to show you in a second. You don't want the water traveling behind the siding causing water leaks, so this one has to come on top of the siding. Let me show you how to do it. We just install first step flashing on top of the siding. What that's going to do is going to push the water outside, protecting the house from the water. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to score the paint so when we pull the skylight it doesn't damage the drywall. After we install the skylight, we got to install this moisture barrier. It's like an icy mortar shield. It comes with the skylight. That's why we left a little piece of wood there, because once we install this, this is going to get stick. It's going to stick to the plywood. It's going to prevent from any water from coming in. So what we did, you guys can see, we put this almost like sticker that goes up the wall of the flashing and on the roof line. It's going to prevent any leakage, anything. When we put the nails, it's going to seal those. What we did is we put it on top, so water drips is going to go on top of this shingle away from your house. That's the whole purpose, to get the water out. So the next step is to install this flashing. It comes from factory, pre-vent, so we don't have to do a corner. Water is just going to flow away. we're going to install it. We got to think like water when we install this flashing. Water is going to flow on top of this metal, so if we forget to pull this out, this gasket out, going behind this is going to leak. So now we'll have to pull this out. Now it's going to flow away from your house. Let me explain where we should nail the flashing. First thing we do, put the flashing down, put the shingle, then we nail the flashing here. Why? Because the net flashing is going to cover the nail, so there won't be any nails where the water is going to flow around this area. So after we install the shingles all the way up to the edge of the skylight, next step is to install this flashing. You see it comes sealed from factory. We don't have to do no corners. Water is just going to flow away. When we install the shingles on top of the skylight, we got to make sure there is a gap for the water to flow. If we make it too tight, water is going to, debris is going to accumulate on this area, especially if we have a lot of trees, and it's going to start traveling sideways. We don't want that. We want a gap so water will flow freely and don't cause leaks. One of the last things we got to do on this skylight, we got to install this trim metal to make everything watertight. Let's go. Guys, if you made it all the way here, if you're a subscriber, give us a like. If you're not, then subscribe so you can see our videos. We just finished up with this too. Skylights with blinds, solar blinds. Now, homeowner can enjoy more light. And then if they want the room dark, they can just bring the shades down. It's gonna be dark. These are solar. Approximately, you get 20 years out of this skylights. It's around the same as you get off the shingles. So when you replace the skylights, you gotta replace the shingles or vice versa. Let's talk less and fix more roofs.